Hello, my name is Kori Montenegro, and my modeling project will be covering the topic of membrane receptors, which includes G proteins, cyclic AMP, and signal transduction. To begin my presentation, I would like you to know that this occurs in the phospholipid bilayer, in places like the liver. The process of this begins on the surface of the phospholipid bilayer when a protein called a ligand binds to the G protein coupled receptor, which in this case is the metabotrophic receptor. The ligand is epinephrine, and the metabotrophic receptor is what is responding to the stimulus, which in this case is the ligand. Once the ligand has binded to the metabotrophic receptor, the protein conformation process is able to take place, and it changes the shape of the protein. At the bottom of the receptor, there is the heterotrimeric G protein, which consists of 3 subunits, known as alpha, gamma, and beta. Alpha subunit of the G protein is attached to GDP, otherwise known as guanine diphosphate, and at this point is still inactive. The alpha subunit detaches from the G protein structure, and GDP switches to GTP through the process of phosphorylation. This switch from GDP to GTP activates the protein. Next, the alpha subunit, which is attached to GTP, moves to the effector, which is adenylyl cyclase. GTP moved to the effector, it is inactive, but when they come along, it becomes active. Now that adenylyl cyclase is active, it is ready to turn ATP into CAMP, which is referred to as a secondary message. This is done with the help of phosphodiesterase, which is a catalyzing enzyme. Next, the protein kinase structure, which has 2 subunits, these being regulatory and catalytic, come into play. The CAMPs that were previously made bind to the regulatory subunit. The result of their binding is that the catalytic subunit becomes active and detaches. Then the ATP binds to this catalytic subunit. Lastly, the enzyme phosphorylase attaches to the catalytic subunit as well, which causes glucose to leave the cell. The cellular response is to make glucose exit the cell. From this, there is increased heart rate, blood vessels become constricted, and many other factors. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed!